Welcome to EPG Pathshala. Myself Dr. Ramesh Kumar Sharma. Hello everyone. Welcome to the introduction of the identity, culture and nation. This lecture is part of your paper on media, culture and society. This lecture will introduce you to the concepts of culture, nation and identity and how cultural communication leads to the formation of identity among people collectively such that the newly formed identity becomes the national identity. You will also learn about the processes such as acculturation, adaptation and intercultural communication and how these processes connect to the identity formation. Identity or in a particular cultural identity has become one of the most recurrent words in disciplines such as sociology, anthropology, cultural studies as well as in communication studies. Due to its wider use, the term has assumed a variety of meaning. Through rationally, a relative term, however, it involves a variety of elements which enable one to the identify and to be identified. Globally, a considerable amount of literature addressing the issues of cultural identity either directly or indirectly is available. Such literature offers a variety of ways through which cultural identity can be examined in the context of intercultural communication. However, in this lecture, we will primarily engage with the ideas of culture, communication, nation and identity and how cultural fusion helps in the construction of an identity through communication which become a common identity among all in a nation. Identity is multifaceted concept and therefore can be examined or studied in a variety of ways. Identity corresponds to the individual's understanding that they hold about themselves and about certain features that are meaningful to them. The understanding of these features are relative to the elements that embrace the priority in terms of the meaning. Generally, the common feature that determines the identity of an individual includes gender, sexual orientation, nationality, ethnicity and so on. Scholars across disciplines, especially in social sciences and cultural studies, speak of two forms of identity. One, which is based on the social attributes such as caste, community, ethnicity and so on and is therefore called as social identity. The other is based on personal attributes of individuals such as gender, sex, class and so on and therefore has been termed as self or personal identity. Methodologically distinct, however, these two forms of identity are linked to each other in the sense that an individual occupying a certain position which defines his class can simultaneously have an element of a social identity such as community. However, there apparently is a distinction between the two identities. While personal identity involves only a single individual, but social identity defines the identity of a larger whole. Social identity reflects oneness of creates a scene of belonging among the individuals. This implies that social identities are basically shared identities where each and every individual sharing such identity have common aspirations, ideals of skills and that form the basic of certain kind of movement such as nationalist movement. On the other hand, individuals' identities always tend to create a sort of division among people through their distinct identities at an individual level. Unlike social identity, personal identity ensure expansion of the self through which individuals can comprehend who they are. Thus, we identify ourselves in a society at two levels, that is individual and collective level. At the latter level, we personally ourselves through a sense of national identity. These two identities are through distinct but can be envisioned as entirely interwoven. Therefore, identity has to be understood as a process formed and reformed consistently. Identity is often analyzed through the way one perceives it. Scholars often find it as complex to define identity as is its formation due to the foundation on a variety of elements. But according to Cassels, the process of construction of meaning on the basis of a cultural attribute or a related set of cultural attribute is given priority over other sources of meanings. This informs that identities are constructed rather than ascribed, and the elements which contribute towards the formation of identity are the social element such as gender, culture, class and etc. Identity formation through culture has been at the core in the communication studies, and therefore in trying to understand cultural identities, one need to take into account the prevailing cultural differences as well. Cassels has developed three ways of forming identities which have their root in power relation within a society. These are legitimating identity, resistance identity and project identity. While the former two forms of identities denote the suppression and domination and the resistance of the dominance respectively, the latter one holds significance here in the sense that the type of identity envisaging the total transformation of a society through the use of various cultures which set the foundation for the construction of identity, and hence it is more of a cultural identity of the collectiveness than merely an individual identity or personal identity. According to Abraham, and here the concept of cultural identity refers to familial and cultural dimensions of a person's identity and how other perceives him or her, that is factors that are salient of a person's identity, both the perceived by the individual and how others perceive the person's identity. In the following section, we will discuss how national cultural identities are formed through the communication. Having discussed the transition from personal to cultural identities, the focus in this section will be more on the formation of national cultural identities through communication. In a present context of the understanding of cultures, what is at the core of its understanding is the nation into which an individual is born. Metaphorically, it is this scene only that people tend to define themselves in the terms of national language such as Hindi, English, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese, etc., or in terms of the nationality such as Indian, American, Sri Lankan, etc. Such forms of cultural identities are not inherent biologically, but they are constructed out of our cultures through which we identify ourselves. Also, such cultural identity is further moduled by the construction of a collective national cultural identity. Gellner believes that failure to arrive at forming a cultural identity, people would intensively encounter a sense of loss. According to Ernest Gellner, the ideas of a man without a nation seems to impose a great strain on the modern imagination. But that it should have come to seem to very obviously true is intended to aspects perhaps the very core of the problem of nationalism. Having a nation is not an inherent attribute of humanity, but it has now come to appear as such. Such national cultural identities are formed, reformed and transformed through the codes of information and representation. According to Cassells, the new power lies in the codes of information and in the images of representation around which societies organize their institutions and people build their lives and decide their behavior. The sites of the power of people's mind in order to understand how communication helps in the formation of identity at two levels. We need to understand the process of dimension of information and subsequent representation of various cultures, which ensure exposure to a variety of representational resources and thus leads to the formation of one single identity which is national. The further result in creating the standards of universal language as the central medium of communication across the nation and maintains national culture. Now that we have understood the cultural communication leads to the formation of identity, therefore we can say that cultures have an important relation with the formation of identity. As an amalgamation of various elements, culture distinguishes one community from the other regardless of the size. Likewise, Cassells put forth that the formation of identity takes place due to the elements of culture. Identities are constructed through intercultural communication between members of various cultural groups in such ways that the formed identity has its foundation on one particular culture which reflects the nation as a border level. This new identity reflecting the identity as a national level becomes possible through cultural cooperation, a process whereby people from different cultural groups adopt to one particular culture, thus creating a sense of commonness or oneness. Such boundedness among various cultural groups evolves recreation of a new culture called a national culture, which serves as a basis of the formation of identity of its natives. During the process of intercultural communication, people tend to be reproduce, supports or contest about other cultures through communication. This makes the process of culture representation complicated. Through cultural communication, various cultural identities are brought to light. However, depending on whatever one engages in such communication, the context of communication or whether the communication takes place between people having different cultural identities. The context of communication holds significance in the communication process since it may take place either at individual level or at social level. in a former or personal identities such as gender, class, etc. reflect our identity, which may make our communication process successful at the individual level. For example, communication between two individuals in a class will be successful only if the individual identities confirm the two identities of a student and a teacher. Similarly, social identities characterized by religion, language, ethnicity, etc. involves communication between two or more groups, each group identified with a distinct culture. Now, identity can be looked upon through two concepts according to Banks and Banks. These two concepts are the traditional concept and the modern concept. The traditional way of looking at identity considered communication as central to maintain the cultural differences and identity formation. Traditional way of looking at the communication ensures decrease in conflict over identity among various cultural groups, thereby enhancing the ability of an individual to negotiate with other cultures until people involved in communication arrive to a consciousness over the formation of one common identity. On the other hand, the modern way of identity formation takes place actively and consciously, however, depending upon the context in which such process takes place. Through these two concepts, identity formation can evolve several dimensions which are categorized under the individual and social identity as discussed earlier. Cultural adaptation is the process of immersing oneself into a new culture. The process takes place through intercultural communication, during which members of certain cultural groups adopt or integrate with the cultures of some other groups. Scholars across disciplines consider cultural adaptation of paramount importance for individuals, group as well as nation. Due to the cultural adaptation, there develops an intercultural identity. The capacity of individuals adopt to the host culture enhance their ways of development within such milieu and alters their perceptions and experiences about the cultural boundaries in such a way of that their original culture identity lost its definiteness and rigidity, and the immigrant identity shows an increasing interculturalness. Thus, there is a complete transformation of the identities from individuals, personal, group, community aspirations to increasingly collective traits. In the process of acclimatizing to the collective identity, the psychological attachment to their original culture weakness, and this attachment develops for the collective elements of identification. Two important models of intercultural communication needs to be mentioned. One is acceleration model offered by John V. Berry, and other is the cross-cultural adaptation model by Yon Kim. These two models articulates various cultures through which people enter into a different cultural milieu. At the same time, these two models also determine the nature of identity that is constructed through intercultural communication. Acceleration itself is a multidimensional process involving learning of the cultures which results in a change culturally. This change takes place through cultural learning, during which people tend to develop a sense of attachment. In this context, national cultural identity often is Rational since it involves interconnectedness of cultures which is made possible through cultural communication. National cultural identities, according to Schlesinger, they are constructed within social relationship where reciprocity in terms of recognition in a precondition. Therefore, the newly formed national identity reflects a system of relation among people of various cultures and how they are represented through the newly formed cultural identity. With regard to cultural adaptation, some scholars use cultural fusion as an alternative to it. Generally, the term cultural fusion implies the intermixing of two or more cultures from a new culture, which attached meaning of individuals' lives collectively. For Kramer, cultural fusion means a system in which newcomers ties together elements of their own culture as well as the elements of new culture, thus forming an integrative whole. This integrative whole reflects what is termed to collective cultures, evolving the representation of whole through the construction of common identity which gives individual a sense of belonging within a nation. In this lecture, we provide an understanding of the concepts of culture, nation and identity. Through these concepts, we discussed how the formation of national identities take place through communication. We also discussed the process of acculturation, adaptation, cooperation and differences and how these processes led to the formation of a new identity, which is an amalgam of various cultures constructed over a period of time through cultural communication. The lecture further offers an understanding into how culture adaptation results in the formation of identity and thereby weaknesses and attachment with the individual's personal culture or what is generally termed as original culture. This will enable the students to understand how transformation takes place from individuality towards the collectivity through intercultural communication. For more details, please read the e-text on this lecture properly and attempt the questions in the end. Thank you.